Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that's honestly like kind of embarrassing, but at the same time I do think it will be fun because today I'm going to be talking through the 28 book series that I'm currently in the middle of, which is quite a lot, and I was kind of surprised when I compiled the list because I knew it was like a big number, but I feel like 28 is kind of ridiculous. However, some of these I am DNFing, so theoretically I'm not in the middle of 28 series, but by the same token, I am. So today I'm going to be sitting down and talking through all of those series, telling you which ones I'm not going to continue, which ones are a very high priority for me, and I just think it's going to be fun. So we're going to get into it in just a second because first I do want to talk about the company that I'm partnering with on this video, which is Ana Luisa. I've worked with Ana Luisa a few times in the past and I just love working with them so much, so when they reached out again I was like, yes, please. I literally wear their jewelry all the time, so I just have the best time working with them. So if you guys don't know what Ana Luisa is, they are a jewelry company with an amazing sustainability mission. I love seeing their focus on providing really lovely jewelry pieces while still keeping in mind the impact that certain products have on the planet. They are carbon neutral and water neutral, and all of their packaging is made with 100% recycled materials. I do just love the fact that they make this a main talking point of their brand and that they have so much information about it on their website as well. Their jewelry is also really affordable as well, with pieces starting as low as $39. I do know it's a little bit hard to find reasonably priced sustainable items, but if you're looking for some jewelry, I definitely think Ana Luisa is a good place to go. They do also have higher end pieces that are a little bit more expensive if you are looking for something like that as well. So now that we've talked about that, we can get into the lovely pieces that they have sent me to show you guys today, which I'm so excited about. First of all, I thought we could talk about this necklace, which I am in love with, honestly. This is the Ana Luisa necklace, which is a really pretty silver heart-shaped pendant with a little like green jewel in it, and I just think it's so freaking gorgeous. I love the toggle clasp on it as well. I think that really adds something nice, and I cannot wait to wear it. Next pieces they sent me are these earrings, and these are the Paris earrings in silver. I do believe they have these in gold as well, but let me tell you, these things are like, they're rather heavy, so I can definitely tell that they're good quality, and I just love like the thick braided hoop look. Like, I think they're so elegant, and I am, again, very excited to bust these out. But my favorite piece that they sent me that I'm also wearing today, along with some jewelry that they sent me the last time that I worked with them, are these Celeste earrings. I got them in silver last time, which I am absolutely obsessed with. I do wear them so often, and I wanted to get another pair in gold so I can kind of like mix and match them almost. And these are just so pretty. It's a little star and a little moon, and anything celestial I'm into. So obviously I love their jewelry so much, and if you guys also see any pieces that you like and you want to check out, you can use my code katieisreadingyt to get 10% off at checkout. Or they're also having a holiday sale right now because obviously Christmas is coming up and it would be a perfect time to pick something up. So they are running a buy one get one 50% off sale right now. They're also doing 50% off of their gift set. So again, thank you so much to Ana Luisa for partnering with me on this video, and let's get into talking about all of the book series that I'm currently in the middle of. So first I'm going to start talking about the series that I am DNFing, probably for good, but honestly I will never say never because I don't want to talk in absolutes, you know? So these are series that I am really not feeling and really probably will not continue, but there is a chance. There's always a chance, you know? But I have only a few of them. So the first series that I'm going to be DNFing is The Girl from the Well series, I think, by Rin Chupeco. I think there's 2 books in this series, but I read the first one for Summerween, and I have no thoughts on that book, honestly. I just feel so neutral about it that I have no interest in continuing it whatsoever. This is probably a series that I will for sure be DNFing just because I have, like, there's no part of me that wanted to continue it. You know what I'm saying? So that one's a no. The next one kind of pains me, honestly, because I was so excited for this series, but I read the first book in it over the summer, and again, I just have like some very neutral feelings, and I have like no desire to continue it. And that is the King of Scars duology by Leigh Bardugo. I am just very not into continuing this book series, which is a shame because I freaking love Nikolai, but I don't think this series is great. I really enjoyed Shadow and Bone. Obviously I really like Six of Crows, but this series just is not doing it for me, and I don't want to put myself through it. Honestly, I already unhauled the book, so I was like, bye. Another series that I'm gonna DNF is the House Moving Castle series by Diana Wynne Jones. I don't really know what the name of this series is, to be honest, but there's like 3 books maybe in it, and I think I went into it knowing that I wasn't gonna read the others, but this book is obviously what the Studio Ghibli movie is based off of, and I love the movie. The book was a lot of fun, but it wasn't like you know, amazing. I kind of just liked the book because I liked the movie so much, and I was like, okay, yeah, I wanted to see the original source material. But honestly, I just have no interest in reading the rest of the books in the series, and I don't think Hal and Sophie are even like a main part really of the other books, so I just like, no. Next up I have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, I really enjoyed From Blood and Ash and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, but I read Crown of the Gilded Bones last year. Like, as soon as it came out, I was so excited for it. I was like, yes, more Poppy and Hawke. But dear God, nothing happened in the third book in this series, and I was so bored the entire time until like the last 30 pages where I was like, wow, that's really interesting. But the thing is, now I don't remember what I found so interesting about it. Like, I know something happened, but I don't remember what it was. And I'm like, I just don't care. I probably also won't read like the spin-off series either. Honestly, I think Jennifer L. Armentrout's books are just way too long. I feel like if somebody got her a proper editor, I would eat it up. Honestly, I would consider a reread of the first book because I did really enjoy the first book, but the rest of the series is a big no. And then the last series I'm going to be DNFing isn't really a surprise, and that is the Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahurin, I believe. I read the first 2 books in this series and I loved the first one. I thought the first one was just a really fun time. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I was kind of eating it up, you know? And then I read the second one, and like the same thing happened that happened in the From Blood and Ash series, where like just nothing happened in the second book. And I was considering reading the third book, but I think one of you guys told me that it wasn't worth it, and I trust you, so I'm not reading it. I just like, I have no connection to the characters anymore. I just don't care. Next up, I do have 3 series in my DNF for now category, meaning I will probably maybe revisit these books at some point in time, but right now is not the point in time. I'm thinking like 5-7 years maybe I might get back into it. Who knows? But first of all, I have the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. This was the first Women and Words book club pick that me and Cass did for our book club, and I definitely see why it's so highly regarded. It was definitely really well written. I thought the story and the plot was really interesting, but I just wasn't fully invested. But I feel like maybe it's just not what I was looking for at that point in time. I don't really think it's what I'm looking for like right now either, but I feel like at some point in my life, I do want to revisit it and kind of see where things are gonna go. And I do want to give it a fair shot, but like right now is not the time. But at some point in time, it might be the time. The other series that I'm DNFing for now is the Hades and Persephone series by Scarlett St. Clair. I read the first 2 books in this series in January, and they were kind of fun. Like, I can't lie, I had a decent time reading them, but the second one was just like not good in my opinion, and I think I started reading the third one. Maybe. I probably got like 25% of the way into it, and then I just stopped reading it because I didn't care anymore. But I do think it's like a pretty solid fantasy romance kind of series. Like, if you want something fast and easy to read, it's definitely like, it's a good pick, you know? And I feel like at some point in time, maybe I'll be feeling that and I'll want to pick it up. So I don't want to say like no forever, but I don't have an interest in picking it up now. And then the last series in my DNF for now category is the All Souls trilogy by, what's her name? Deborah Harkness. Yes, I read the first book of this back in 2020. I loved it, honestly. I think I gave it like a 4 or a 4.5. I thought it was really fun. It's about a romance, essentially, between a witch and a vampire. Like, duh. If you know me, you know I was obsessed. And I was so excited to read the second one, A Shadow of Night, I think. But honestly, I felt like I was reading a history book when I was reading this, and I was like, I do not care about these old white men. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was just talking about all of these philosophers and just like people I did not know, and there's just way too much info dumping. I made it like 50 pages and I was like, please make it stop. Like, I do kind of want to see what happens between Diana and Matthew, but just not right now. I feel like this might be the kind of series that I pick up again and read later in life, but like right now, no. The next category I have is mostly, probably won't continue. It's like maybe if I'm really feeling it, I might continue the series, you know? I'm not 100% sure. So the first series in this category is Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith. I read the first book to this in September, and it was really bad, honestly. Like, it was not good. I only read it because I like the show, but by the same token, it's just so interesting to sit and compare it to the show, and I kind of like that aspect of it. And I know there are some differences between what happens in the book series and what happens in the TV show, so I do think it could be a fun time to kind of read and see what those differences are, but at the same time, I'm like, What if I just Googled it? You know, like, these books really aren't that well written. The characters suck. But if I'm ever feeling like a fun, trashy teen vampire story, I could pick it up. And then the other series that I have in this category is the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. I have only read the first book in this series. I gave it a 3 stars. I was not into it, honestly. However, I have read the last 10 pages of the second book, which is House of Sky and Breath. And wow, I definitely like really want to see where it goes, and I don't know if I can let myself do that without reading the second book, you know? So I kind of want to like power through it, maybe pick up the audiobook just to say I've read it. I don't know. I have not decided yet. We'll see. The next category of books I have are the Might Continue series, where like if I'm really feeling it one day, I'll probably pick it back up, but I'm not 100% sure. The next book series I have on this list is These Violent Delights series. Too many S's. This series by Chloe Yong. That's called These Violent Delights. Yes. So I read the first one back in September. It was just a very average read for me, honestly. There were aspects of it that I definitely enjoyed, but there were also aspects that I did not enjoy. So I wasn't really sure if I was going to pick up the second one, and I have started listening to Our Violent Ends on audio, but I don't know if I'm going to finish it or not. It kind of just depends on if I ever have a moment in time where I need like an audiobook to just throw on, and maybe it'll be that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it'll happen or not, but who knows? The next series that I have on this list is Fence, which is a graphic novel series about dudes fencing, basically. I read the first 4 volumes of this series in like a day. I thought it was really fun. It was a good time. I just don't know if I really care enough to continue. I'm not even sure if the 5th volume is out yet. If it is, I might have to pick it up. I don't know. I never really have like super strong feelings about graphic novel series, but I could potentially pick this one up. The next series I'm in the middle of is the Black Hollow Lane series by Julian Noble. This is like a middle grade, kind of a light academia type story, you know, and I read the first one in 2021? Yeah, last year. And it was just a lot of fun, but again, I just don't know if I'm really invested enough or if I remember enough about it to continue it at this point in time. If I'm ever looking for like a quick read with the fun vibe, could be that one. The next series I have on this list is honestly like the older sibling series, in my opinion, to the Black Hollow Lane series, which is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Read the first book in this series. I think I 5-starred it when I first read it, even though I feel like I probably wouldn't 5-star it if I read it now. But I definitely think it was fun and I would consider reading it, but every time I think about picking up The Vanishing Stair, I'm like, what if I read something else? And at some point I'm like, what if I'm just like never gonna read it, you know? Because I don't know if I remember enough about Truly Devious to just like pick up the second book. And then the last series that I have on this list is the Roots of Chaos series by Samantha Shannon. This is the series with The Priory of the Orange Tree and what is that book called? A Day of Fallen Night, which it's coming out next year, I think. And I really did like The Priory of the Orange Tree. It's a sapphic story. It's got vampires? What? I got vampires on the brain. It has dragons in it. Okay. It has dragons in it. And it was a good time. Definitely very high fantasy. Like, I'd have to be in a very specific mood to pick up A Day of Fallen Night, which like might happen. I don't know. It's really hard to get myself wanting to pick up high fantasy because I'm like, my brain can't handle that right now. But maybe one day my brain will be able to handle it and I might read it. I know the second book is sort of a prequel to Priory, so that's definitely intriguing. I'm just not sure. It's also, again, very thick, so who knows? And then lastly on this list, I'm going to quickly run through all of the book series that I'm absolutely 100% going to be continuing. These are either series that are completed and I just haven't read all of them yet, or series that I'm like caught up with and there's still more books coming out. Who knows? But these are like the least interesting ones, you know? So I'm just gonna like run through. So first of all, we have the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I read The Way of Kings last year, loved it so much, but I cannot get myself to pick up Words of Radiance because it's so long. But I know it'll happen. Like, I loved The Way of Kings enough that I do absolutely have to continue the series. Next up, I have The Last Hours by Cassandra Clare. Obviously, yes, Chain of Thorns comes out in January. I'm incredibly excited. Next up, we have ACOTAR. I don't think this series is completed. I'm not 100% sure though, to be honest, but I think I heard that there's supposed to be another book. If not, I will cry, but I'm pretty sure it's not completed yet, which, like, I need more. Then we have the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen. I read the first book earlier this year. I thought it was really good. It was a very solid fantasy romance series, and I guess it's not really fantasy, honestly. It feels like a fantasy romance series. It's really fun, but I do need to pick up the second book before I forget literally everything that happened in the first book, which is already happening. Then I have the Practical Magic series by Alice Hoffman. I've read 2 books out of this 4-book series, and I don't even know who the other books follow because you can kind of read them in any order, I feel, so I'm not sure what the other 2 are about, but I did really enjoy the ones that I have read, so obviously I will have to read the others. We also have Heartstopper, which I think has 1 more volume coming out, which is a sad prospect, honestly, but obviously we'll be continuing Heartstopper. So good. Next up we have the Small Spaces series by Catherine Arden. It's like a middle grade horror type of situation and it's really fun. I've read the first 2 books in the series and I think the 4th book just came out this year, but it involves clowns and I don't really like clowns, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna read that one, but I do want to read the one that came out last year. So at some point, maybe next Halloween, I will read Dark Waters, I think is the 3rd one. Then I have the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. I obviously still need to read The Ballad of Never After, but I have been saving it for December because it gives me wintry vibes. So hopefully that happens this month. We also have Spy Family on this list, which I was literally like, there is a week in August where I was obsessed with Spy Family. And then I just never picked up any more of the volumes. I've read 4 out of the 8 volumes that are currently out. It's a crime that I haven't continued it, honestly, but hopefully it happens soon. Then I have the Legendborn cycle by Tracy Dion. The 2nd book in this series actually just came out last month, and I will be starting it actually today. Like, I do have plans to continue the series today, so. And then the last book series that I will absolutely be continuing is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have read 5 out of the 8 books, I think, and I'm currently in the middle of a tandem read of Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, so hopefully I can finish that this month, maybe? Yes, we have made it. Those are all of the book series that I'm currently in the middle of. Hopefully making this video will hold me accountable for, you know, maybe finishing some series. For some series, I do try to just like marathon through all of them, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that way, you know? And that's okay too. Is it kind of a problem that I'm in the middle of 28 book series? Yeah, maybe. Do I remember what's gone on in all of those books? Absolutely not. But we're living on the edge a little bit. We'll just have to see how it goes. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't really know if there's much a point to this video other than maybe a warning to you guys to not start as many series as I have and not finish them, but you do what you want. Who am I to stop you? You know what I'm saying? So yes, that is the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, please do give me an estimate of the amount of book series that you're in the middle of down in the comments. I would love to know. Please tell me I'm not alone in starting and not finishing series. Also, don't forget, if you want to check out Ana Luisa, you can use my code katieisreading10 for 10% off of your purchase. And yeah, that's everything. I will let you guys go. Hope you have a great whatever day I'm posting this, and I'll see you in my next video.